Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever ember wanders near.
Okay, I'd meant to bring this up a while ago, but I forgot about it. This is something I wanted to check out. That someone sent to me. Apparently, a woman in Texas got arrested because she made a Facebook post that was where she was concerned about her water. This is like I'm really curious about this. Apparently, in the town of Trinidad, some woman made a Facebook post that was where she was concerned about her water, and because she made the Facebook post, she got arrested. So, I'm curious. I want to see what the hell's going on here.
A woman says she was arrested after posting health and safety concerns about a city's drinking water on Facebook. It happened in Trinidad in Henderson County, southeast of Dallas. People who live there say the tap water sometimes looks and smells unsafe. When one woman shared her take on Facebook, the police department arrested her, and now she's suing. Fox 4's David Sintendry is live with more from that city. David.
Yeah, well, some city leaders say there are issues with the water system and that there has been for quite some time. However, one woman's claim posted to Facebook that the water is making some people sick led to her being arrested.
Did you ever expect something like that Facebook post could get you arrested?
Not at all.
A Facebook post made by Jennifer Combs, a white...
Enough. We've received reports that some citizens have been hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. This is a serious public health concern that deserves immediate attention. If your water looks discolored, contains sediment, has a strong odor, or you have experienced related health issues, please send this message. We are gathering information and reporting findings to the state. We are aware that not all areas of Trinidad are experiencing these issues. However, if your water is affected, your information can help identify patterns and ensure the problem is addressed properly. Please include your area or neighborhood, no exact address needed, photos or videos of the water if available, dates and times that it occurred, any notices you may have received, any health concerns you share. Your information can help bring attention to the issue and support the efforts to improve the water quality for everyone. If you have information or your water looks like this, please send us a message. Okay. So how is this going to get her arrested?
Wife, mother, and citizen journalist led to her arrest by Trinidad Police Department on May 8th.
Did you have to spend the night in jail?
I did.
What was that like?
Horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
And you've never even had a speeding ticket?
Okay. Hold up. Y'all are fine? Okay, I'm not to discount the fact that she had to spend a night in jail. Nullifying is a bit of a stretch, I think. Like, you spent the night in jail and were released the next morning on bond. One night in jail, unless you get tossed into the tank with a bunch of gangbangers, it's probably going to be boring more than anything. So I'm sorry, absolutely, that's plaguing up for the camera. I'm not like trying to take away from the fact that she may have been unfairly arrested or anything like that. I'm not gonna take that away from her. But saying like, oh, a single night in jail was horrifying. I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit. I am. Well, I can thankfully say that I have never been arrested and put into jail. I have toured facilities before, and I've seen what they look like, and and it's not fun to be in a jail, but I'm sorry, they're not quote unquote horrifying. Yeah, and Ragtag, thank you for the tier 3. Thank you very much. Yeah, humiliating. If she'd said humiliating, that would have been like, okay, understandable. If she'd said humiliating. Horrifying? No, that's like suburban white woman. Like, I don't like to leave my gated community speak.
I have not ever had a speeding ticket. It was one of the most probably humiliating things I've ever went through in my entire life.
That'll lie. That'll lie.
It was very, very bad.
So what was the Facebook post?
Yeah, humiliating. That I bought. She's probably got handcuffed, she got fingerprinted. Like, a humiliating experience for someone that's never been in trouble and basically just did a Facebook post like this. Yeah, humiliating. I'm on board with that. Absolutely. I that understandable.
About the city's water supply.
The best way I could describe it is it looks like the Trinity River is flowing from their water taps.
The post from
Oh my God. Okay, chat, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. When I lived in Newfoundland, one of the places I lived at when I was in Newfoundland, we were basically very rural. And we had well water when I lived rurally in Newfoundland. And it didn't look like this. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, this does look like it's coming straight from the river.
the post from her page Southern Bell Watch reads, in part, "We have received reports that some citizens have been hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. This is a serious public health concern that deserves immediate attention. If your water looks discolored, contains sediment, has a strong odor, or..."
But my well was fine. I said the water that we got from the well did not look like that. Like at the most, like if we didn't shock the well for a long time, at the most there would be a slight discoloration to it. But that's it. Nowhere near what we just saw.
Or you have experienced related health issues, please send us a message. We are gathering information and reporting findings to the state.
The police chief had screenshotted it and posted it on the Trinidad Police Department page.
The April 6th post by Trinidad Police calls what Combs wrote false information that creates...
Okay, hold up. Trinidad Police Department is where the statement's being circulated in this post and would like to address this matter clearly and responsibly. At this time, we have not received any confirmed reports from hospitals, medical providers, or any health official health agency indicating that citizens have been hospitalized due to bacteria in the water system. We take public health concerns seriously. However, spreading unverified or false information that could create fear, panic, or unnecessary emergency response within a community is also a serious matter. Under Texas law, specifically Penal Code 42.06, false alarm or report, a person commits an offense if they knowingly initiate, communicate, or circulate a report of an emergency that is false or baseless that would cause action by emergency services, place the public in fear of imminent serious bodily harm, or disrupt normal public activity or services. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We have received reports that some citizens have been hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. Okay, so this right here. Hold up. Wait. All of this is not this first line. This first line where she says, we've received reports that some citizens have been hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. If she does not have any substantive evidence to support that, that could be where they're operating off of. This first line right here where she said that people have been hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. If there is no evidence to support that, yeah, and it's even highlighted here. If there's no evidence to support that, then yes, I could see the justification. I could see it falling under this Texas law because she's saying that people are getting sick because of the water. If, big fucking if, she has no sources or evidence. The image is pretty damning. It's damning, but it's not evidence. Because unless you have that water test, unless the people who got sick, unless A, there are people that did get sick, and B, they tested that water and found that there was harmful bacteria in it that could make it sick. Unless she has that, who's saying that people are getting sick from the water when there's no evidence to support that would fall in line under this penal code? Now, again, we don't know if she has the evidence. We don't know. Maybe, we've still got a few minutes left in this report, so we'll see if she has evidence to back this up or if she has experts to back this up. If she does not, if basically her insinuation that people are getting sick from the water is just that, an insinuation, and and there's nothing to substantiate her claims, yeah, that would fall under this statute. It would. Brown water like that would probably kill you. Probably is not good enough. In the eyes of the law, where evidence matters, probably isn't good enough. It isn't. Wouldn't they at least reach out and ask her to modify the post? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they did, and let's see. Maybe they did, and she said, "Fuck no, I'm not changing it." Let's see.
That creates fear, panic, or unnecessary emergency response within a community, eventually charging Combs with felony false alarm or report.
I feel like this is an extreme stretch.
So here inside Trinidad City Hall, the water looks clean, but some say it's a fluid situation depending on where you're at and when. How would you describe the city's water situation right now?
Yeah, like
The city's water situation.
like that looks nasty. That does look nasty. But unless you've got it tested, then unless you have it tested, you can't make the claim that there's bacteria.
The city's water situation is a struggle, without question.
Trinidad Mayor Dennis Hawes does not dispute that they have water issues.
A lot of this stuff is original pipes that were put in here in Trinidad in the 50s, probably. We have to get to a position where we can fix that infrastructure, and it's very expensive, as I'm sure you can imagine.
On Wednesday, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality confirmed to Fox 4 that it received a complaint regarding the water quality and an investigation is ongoing. It's unclear whether anyone has gotten sick from the water.
I've seen some Facebook posts where people have said they have gotten sick, but to me personally, I haven't heard anything.
In a post on May 10th,
That's the
Trinidad
problems.
Police Chief Charles Gregory doubled down on his decision.
Yeah, like you guys are talking about what about probable cause? Probable cause is what allows a police officer to conduct an investigation. Probable cause is basically the starting gun for a police officer to basically begin work, to start examining, to start investigating. Probable cause does not necessarily mean arrest. It can, like if there's probable cause to investigate, and then based on the evidence you've collected, there's probable cause to arrest. Sure. But it's typically the starting gun for an investigation. It's not necessarily, depending on circumstances, of course, it's not necessarily the go to facilitate an arrest. Probable cause can get you a warrant beyond reasonable doubt is conviction. Well, yeah, we're not even talking court. We're just talking about arrest. Like, probable cause can lead to an arrest, but with it in this, like, usually where probable cause leads to arrest would be DUI, where it would be battery, things like that. This one, probable cause, it'd be a little bit dicier. It's not quite so clear cut.
To arrest Combs, calling the case cut and dry. He says claims citizens were hospitalized due to bacteria in the water are simply false and have only caused unnecessary fear and confusion in our community.
I really haven't seen anything like this before, David.
SMU constitutional law professor Dale Carpenter questions if a crime was committed and believes Combs's First Amendment rights may have been violated, even if it turns out Combs's post was inaccurate.
This is a tough one. If she had not put in that first sentence, then yes, she would be covered under First Amendment. At most, it's a civil matter. No, it's not, because if the police department if after she made that post, the police department started getting inundated with calls of people panicking about the water in the town and going, holy crap, is there bacteria in the water? Is it safe? Are my children safe? And it started to cause like a mass panic for people, then yeah, then her post would qualify under that statute. And that's the key. That's the key note of distinction. Is if it basically, like, it's the same as yelling fire in a crowded theater. It's like in this case, it indeed might qualify. If she had simply not put in that first sentence, she would absolutely be covered by First Amendment without that first sentence. But that one sentence is what fucked her up. She had to take that extra step and say there have been people that have been hospitalized because of bacteria in the water, and no evidence or witness testimony to back up that claim. Well, now you done fucked up. Would it protect you if the law violates your first? Wait, hang on. What? Hang on. First Amendment doesn't protect you if you violate the law. It depends. It's case by case. I don't want a blanket statement say First Amendment doesn't protect you if you violated the law. That's a blanket statement I'm not prepared to answer, but pretty sure there's an intent aspect to that criminal statute. And that might be the argument that her lawyer may bring up in court, is that she did not have intent to cause that. So, again, this is something that has to play out in court. But she did fuck up by making a statement that people had gotten sick and didn't have anything to back that up. She fucked up.
Making a statement regarding a matter of great public interest, and so people sometimes make false statements on matters of great public interest, and they're allowed to do so. If we prosecute...
Wait. What? Hold up. I need to hear that again.
If it turns out Combs's post was inaccurate.
She's making a statement regarding a matter of great public interest, and so people sometimes make false statements on matters of great public interest, and they're allowed to do so. If we...
That doesn't make sense. That does not make any sense. People are allowed to make false public statements. For public interest. That doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. No, that's making a false statement for the sake of quote unquote public interest does not fucking work if you're making false statements to deliberately cause a panic. Now, I'm wondering if he tricked over his words, and I'm wondering if he actually meant to say that you were allowed to unintentionally make false statements. I'm trying to give him some benefit of the doubt and hoping that maybe he misspoke. And instead of saying you're allowed to make false public statements, when in reality he meant to say you are allowed to unintentionally make false public statements. So I think I am hoping that he accidentally left the unintentionally part out of there. Because yes, it is perfectly legal for you to unintentionally make false public statements. Absolutely. But to intentionally make a false public statement in a way that would cause a public panic or cause public concern when there is no evidence to support it? Yeah, she said she said that there were reports of people getting sick. Here's the problem. Where are those reports? Where are those witnesses? The fact that she has yet to say, I have people that have told me they got sick and they went to the hospital because of this, she has not said that yet. That's a problem. If she has not, in this entire interview, we have yet to hear from her. Yes, I've spoken with people that after they consumed the water from their homes, they got sick and went to the hospital, and they were diagnosed as having waterborne bacteria that likely would have come from the water source. We have yet to hear that from her, and that's a problem.
If we prosecuted and arrested everybody who made such claims, our jails would be overfilled.
Chief Gregory was not at Tuesday's council meeting, but the water issue was a topic of conversation.
The reason why everyone is here and the reason why Fox 4 is here is because your city is acting like tyrants.
Combs stands behind her post, and in a federal lawsuit filed Tuesday, she accuses the police chief of political retaliation related to her work as a citizen journalist. She claims multiple citizens made social media posts stating that they had personally been hospitalized or affected as a result of consuming the city's water.
I don't agree and don't think it's fair that the citizens pay for.
Wait, hang on. I was thinking.
She claims multiple citizens made social media posts stating that they had personally been hospitalized or affected as a result of consuming the city's water.
Where are those posts? Yeah, number one, you're just going to basically take it on faith that a Facebook post is true. That's like trusting a Twitter post. That's like looking at a Twitter post and going, "Oh yeah, that absolutely happened. I'm not going to dig into that any further." And where were those Facebook posts when she made hers? Why did she not include screenshots of those posts? Like, seriously? It's now her excuse of, "Oh, I think the police department is trying to take revenge on me because I'm an independent journalist or a citizen journalist." It's this, unfortunately, I think, is a side effect of Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley, God bless him, basically skyrocketed the independent citizen journalists. Ever since his story about the daycare centers in Minneapolis went hot, we have been seeing citizen journalists coming out of the woodwork. And now everybody's going, "Well, I can say," and more than a few of them are kind of doing this thing where I can say something and basically, hide under the auspice of citizen journalism. Was this before or after? This was after. This only came out 5 days ago. So this was after him. And so like we're starting to get people that are going, "Well, I can say whatever, and I can hide behind the auspice of I'm a citizen journalist, so I'm protected by the First Amendment." The problem is the actual citizen journalists will have evidence to substantiate their claims. They will actually gather evidence, and then they will actually do the legwork. They will do the hard work to put out a story that is backed up by actual witness accounts, actual evidence that they have accumulated. This woman just said, "I saw some Facebook posts that said they got sick," and that's it. That's not citizen journalism. It's not. Honey, you're not a citizen journalist. You're LARPing as a journalist in this case. Now, the whole thing about the police taking revenge on her because she's a citizen journalist, I don't know about that. I have no idea about that. We don't have any history about that. And could the police have actually reached out to her and said, there's nobody that's reported getting sick from the water, can you please remove the first sentence of your post where you say that there are people getting sick? Can you edit your first line of your post to say that people are getting sick, because that is false. We've received zero reports for it. You're not producing any evidence to it. So this can create unnecessary panic. So we would ask that you please remove this one part of your post. Why the police didn't do that? Well, that's a whole different thing. You see, we're getting all these branching paths here on this story that are not making a whole hell of a lot of sense here. That, "Oh, the police don't like me. Oh, I'm a citizen journalist, but I'm not actually going to show proof. I'm not going to actually prove my journalistic quote unquote work. That there are people claiming that they're sick, but we're not seeing any actual official reports about people getting sick because it's a Facebook." So this is a shit show of multiple levels of proportions, where it seems like everybody involved in here may not have actually done the right thing overall. It looks like she violated the law, but did the police department kind of go nuclear on their response to it? Yeah, they might have. I mean, because we haven't heard anything from the police department making a statement saying, "Hey, we reached out to her and said, listen, that first part of your post is inflammatory and it's going to cause a panic when there's no evidence to support it. Can you please take that down?" We haven't heard the police department say that. She hasn't said that. So Did the police go nuclear when they shouldn't have? Yeah, it's entirely possible. It sounds like it's a shit show on everybody's on everybody's part.
Don't agree and don't think it's fair that the citizens pay for water they can't really use.
The lawsuit adds, speech about the safety of a community's drinking water is a quintessential matter of public concern entitled to the highest degree of First Amendment protection.
I agree. Except she didn't just do speech about the safety of the community's drinking water. She made a direct accusation that people are being harmed. And she knowingly made a statement that at this point, unless more evidence comes to light, she knowingly made a false statement about the community's drinking water. She didn't just simply say, "Hey, we're concerned because look, just look at this water. We have a concern. We would like the city to do something." No, she actually made a claim that people got sick, but with everything that we've seen thus far, that appears to be a lie. So she knowingly spoke a falsehood about something that for the purpose of basically getting people scared, to try and scare them into action. So that's not we're going back to the yelling fire in a crowded theater scenario. It's not to that level of an extreme, but it's the same basic principle.
There's people saying that their appliances are getting ruined. They can't cook with the water. They can't bathe with it. They can't do laundry. A lot of them feel hushed and like they don't have a voice, and no one listens to them and no one takes them seriously.
Did anybody get the water tested? Like, I don't know if this is a thing that you can do in Texas. I know when I lived in Newfoundland, I could actually get my water tested for free. Like at my city hall, they actually had water collection kits that you can go get for free from City Hall. Go and basically, do a procedure where you check the, you basically, clean your tap, run the water for several seconds to clean off the chemicals that you use to clean it. You fill up a little collection jar, label it, bring it into the city, and it would be sent off for testing, and you would get results back, and it cost like $25. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, it would be a very low cost though. It'd be a very low cost. The water is not usable, but you're saying that based on what it looks like. Unless you have it tested, you're going by, I feel like it can't be usable. Everything we're hearing about this water is I feel. We have yet to see any test results. Yes, should the city have tested already? Yes, they should have. Certainly. But if you don't trust the city, then you collect some of the water and get it tested. Collect it and get it tested. Me, drink it. Gamer, I've drunken dirty water like that before. Not as when it was seriously brown, I didn't, because there's concern that there could be soil sediment in there. And it would be disgusting.
I can't
Would I not drink it because I think it'd get me sick? No, I wouldn't drink it because it looks disgusting and there's possibly sediment in there that would just taste disgusting. Yeah, dirt, just because water is dirty does not necessarily mean that there's harmful bacteria in it. There could be. I'm not blanket saying oh, water's dirty, so it's perfectly safe. I'm saying visually alone is not enough to go, oh, that's making people sick. And not wanting to risk it is perfectly reasonable. I'm not downplaying I'm not trying to downplay any concerns these people have. I'm not. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to make an inflammatory statement and make the claim that people are getting sick, you need to have something to back up your claims to protect you legally. You need to have you need to actually talk to people. You need to have hospital reports. You need to actually get the water tested. To basically back her up legally. She needed to do this, and she didn't. She just wanted to basically do the housewife thing, and oh, I saw on Facebook this happened, so I want to make a difference, and I'm gonna post this inflammatory statement about it without any evidence to support it. That's the problem. Legally, that's the problem, is she didn't have any evidence to support her claim. She wanted to LARP as a journalist, but she didn't want to actually do the work of a journalist. Basically, she wanted to be an activist. That's what this boils down to. She wanted to pretend to be a journalist when in reality she's simply an activist going off of fifis and not going after evidence. That's what this all boils down to.
The police chief has not responded to a list of questions we sent over to him via email. He is listed as a defendant in this federal lawsuit. So is one of his officers, a city council member, and the city of Trinidad.
All right, David, so you interviewed the mayor. Police chief didn't want to talk to you. I'm curious what the mayor's attitude or take on the...
So then wouldn't it fall to the city to test and make a statement instead of ignoring and slandering the person accusing you? Sounds sketch to me if they just ignore it. Who's to say that they haven't tested it? Who's to say that they haven't tested it and said there is no harmful bacteria in the water? Like they interviewed the one guy from like public health that was saying we've received 0 reports of any people getting sick by this. There's no public results of it. Maybe there is, and people just haven't looked for them. You know? I mean, like, why not file a FOIA for the test results? Maybe they're not public, but you can certainly file a FOIA. If you've tested it, why not release those results immediately? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't.
The police chief's actions regarding Jennifer Combs'
Well, I asked him
arrest.
I asked the mayor if he agrees with that arrest, and he really wouldn't take a side. He told me, in his words, he does not feel it's appropriate to comment, just saying that the case has been turned over to the Henderson County District Attorney's Office for prosecution. I've reached out to the DA's office to see if they will give us any sort of comment, what they think about the case, but at this point in time, we have not heard back.
There's no way in hell that water that looks like diarrhea is completely safe, and even if it is safe, you shouldn't have to pay for that garbage.
I mean, again, you're going by feelings, and I'm not disagreeing. That water does look very sus. And yes, the city should do regular testing. I'm not disagreeing with that. But again, I'm going to go back to this guy. Hang on. Let me go back to this guy. This is the public health guy.
How would you describe the city's water situation right now?
The city's water situation is a struggle, without question.
Trinidad Mayor Dennis Hawes
Wait, that's the
does
mayor.
not dispute
Sorry.
that they have
Here in Trinidad.
Hang on.
And
That's the mayor. Where did they talk about? There we go.
The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality confirmed to Fox 4 that it received a complaint regarding the water quality and an investigation is ongoing. It's unclear whether anyone has gotten sick from the water.
I've seen.
Okay, so their environmental group is doing an investigation. So it is entirely possible. It's entirely possible that maybe it will come out that the water has bacteria and is unsafe. It might, and in which case, well, shit, looks like the city's in big trouble if that happens. But as much as you may not like it, okay, as much as you may not like it, the way this woman conducted herself on the Facebook post, the way she did it, where she made a claim purporting for it to be fact that people have gotten sick from the water and didn't have anything to back it up. She didn't get the water tested herself. She didn't actually speak to the individuals. She didn't even share she basically went strictly off of Facebook posts. Legally speaking, okay, strictly from a legal standpoint, this is not a commentary on what she did, whether it was right or wrong. This is not a commentary on whether or not the water is safe. Legally speaking, what she did violated the statute because she did not have any, because she made a statement that by all accounts is at this point is false and created panic in the community. All she needed was something to substantiate evidence. Testing of the water, actually talking to like doing a brief interview with the people that claimed they got sick. Like even doing something as simple as talking to the individuals who made the Facebook post claiming we got sick from the bacteria in the water and we had to go to the hospital. She could have reached out to them and said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And actually talked to them and included that in her Facebook post. She probably would have been fine. She would not have been in violation of the law because she would have had witness testimony that she was highlighting as the basis for her statement. So, from a legal standpoint, yeah, she fucked up. She did. It's not detracting from any potential issues with the water. It's not detracting from maybe the city is lying about the water quality. But from a legal standpoint, the way she did it, yeah, she fucked up. Now, did the police overreact? Also, probably yes. Absolutely, also probably yes, that the police maybe overreacted and went straight to an arrest instead of talking to her and telling her to, hey, you need to remove that one sentence. Sure, I absolutely agree with that. But still, what she did, the way she went about doing it, regardless of her intentions. No, actually, not regardless of her intentions, but the way that she did it was wrong and illegal. You gotta separate the legality of what she did versus the environmental concerns that may still exist. I understand it's difficult to do so. Stuff like this is a very, like, going with your feelings, eliciting a very heightened emotional response. I get that. I understand that. But you have to separate that with this. With this woman's arrest, you do need to separate that. And by the legal definition of the statute, yeah, it would seem that she violated that statute and got arrested for it. Yeah. Now we'll see. Now maybe we'll see how the case plays out and see if maybe the case gets dropped. I imagine that there's a chance that the case might get dropped. I imagine there's a good chance her criminal case may get dropped, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see if we can keep track of this. If the police came back with negative water test results and then arrested her, there is no problem. Yeah, that actually would not work. They would have to they would need to have water test results from back when she made her post. If she made her post and then a period of time lapsed and then they took the water and tested it and came back clean, that would not work because it would need to be the quality of the water at the time that she made the post. So it wouldn't quite work. If they'd handled it correctly, they could have kept it within the city or at least the state. Now there's an anime lady from Canada talking about it, just saying. Yeah, it's like do I think the police handled this poorly? Yeah, I do. I absolutely do think that the police handled this terribly. But I still have to recognize the way the law is written. Yeah, she violated it does appear that she violated the law. You don't have to like it. I'm not saying you have to like it. I don't like it, but it does look like she violated the law.
She's just so
Burns bright, brighter than